In this video, I'll explain how to get a Florida resale certificate in 2026, step by step. And by the end of this video, you will learn exactly how to register with the Florida Department of Revenue, receive your DR13 annual resale certificate, and start buying inventory tax-free without making the costly mistakes that trip up most new business owners. I'm Santiago Cueto, board-certified international business law expert and best-selling author based right here in Miami, Florida. I help business owners navigate Florida's tax and licensing requirements every single day, and I can tell you that the resale certificate process confuses more people than it should. So let me break it down for you the right way. Now, before we get into the steps, you need to understand what a Florida resale certificate actually is. A lot of people mix this up with a sales tax permit. They are not the same thing. A Florida sales tax permit, that's your certificate of registration, also called Form DR11. It gives you the legal authority to collect sales tax from customers. It says this business is authorized to make taxable sales in the state of Florida. Your resale certificate is different. That's Form DR13, and it allows you to purchase goods or services tax-free as long as those items are intended for resale. Think of it this way. The permit lets you collect tax. The certificate lets you skip paying tax on your inventory purchases. And here's why this matters. Florida's state sales tax rate is 6%. On top of that, most counties charge a discretionary sales surtax. In Miami-Dade County, that adds up to another 1%. In Hillsborough County, which includes Tampa, it can go up to 1.5%. That means you could be paying 7, even 7.5% on every wholesale purchase if you do not have a resale certificate. Now multiply that across thousands of dollars in inventory every month. You can see how this adds up fast. Now the resale certificate removes that burden. You present it to your supplier. They do not charge you sales tax. Then you collect sales tax from the end consumer when you sell the product. That is how the system is designed to work. One transaction, one tax event, paid by the final buyer. Now, who actually needs one of these? Now, if you sell tangible personal property in Florida, you need a resale certificate. That covers retail stores, online sellers, wholesalers, and resellers. It also applies to businesses that rent tangible property or provide certain taxable services. Now, here's the part that surprises a lot of people. You do not have to be physically located in Florida. If you are an out-of-state seller with inventory stored in a Florida warehouse, you have what is called nexus. Florida has economic nexus laws. That means you're required to register, collect sales tax, and yes, you are eligible for a resale certificate to buy that inventory tax-free. Drop shippers, Amazon FBA resellers, eBay resellers, Shopify store owners. If you have goods moving through Florida, this applies to you. All right, let's get this into actual steps. Step 1 is preparation. Before you even touch the application, gather everything you need. Going in unprepared is the number one reason applications get delayed or rejected. Here is what you will need. Your federal employer identification number, also known as your EIN. If you are a sole proprietor without employees, you can use your social security number, but I strongly recommend getting an EIN regardless. It protects your personal information. You will also need your business entity information. That means your legal business name exactly as it is filed with the Florida Department of State through the SunBiz website. And if you're an LLC, it needs to match your articles of organization. If you are a corporation, it needs to match your articles of incorporation. All right, next you need your physical business address. This cannot be a P.O. box. The Florida Department of Revenue requires a street address for the location where the taxable activity occurs. You should also have your expected date of first taxable activity. This is the date you plan to start making sales or purchasing inventory for resale. And finally, have your ownership details ready, names, addresses, and identification numbers for all owners, officers, or partners. Get all of this together before you start. Trust me, it will save you time and a lot of frustration. Now, if you're finding this helpful so far, do me a quick favor and hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it helps this video reach more Florida business owners who need this information. And if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe so you do not miss my next video. I'm constantly putting out content on Florida business law, sales tax compliance, and everything you need to run your business the right way. All right, let's keep going. Step 2 is the big one. You need to complete the Florida business tax application. That is Form DR1. This is your registration with the Florida Department of Revenue. You cannot get a resale certificate without it. The DR1 is what establishes your sales and use tax account with the state of Florida. Now, the fastest way to file is online. Go to floridarevenue.com and navigate to the registration page. You will need to create a user profile first. Enter your information, confirm your email, and then you can start the application process. The online application will walk you through a series of questions about your business. It will ask you about your business structure, sole proprietorship, LLC, corporation, or partnership. It will ask you about your business activities, your expected sales volume, and the taxes you need to register for. For purposes of getting your resale certificate, make sure you select Sales and Use Tax Registration. That is the critical checkbox. Now, there is also a paper option. You can download Form DR1, fill it out by hand, and either mail it to the Department of Revenue or bring it to a local taxpayer service center. But I would not recommend the paper route unless you have no other choice. Online applications are processed much faster. Speaking of processing time, the online application is typically approved within about 3 days, sometimes even faster, and paper applications take considerably longer. Now, step 3 is where it all comes together. Once your DR1 application is approved, the Florida Department of Revenue will issue 2 documents. The first is your Certificate of Registration, Form DR11. That is your sales tax permit. It authorizes you to collect and remit Florida sales tax. Now, the second is your annual resale certificate for sales tax, Form DR13. That is the resale certificate, and that is what you are here for. These documents will be mailed to you. However, you do not have to wait for the mail. You can log into your account on the Florida Department of Revenue website and print your DR13 form directly. Just go to the e-service portal, log in with your credentials, and select Print Annual Certificate from the activity menu. One very important detail, your resale certificate expires every year on December 31st, every single year. Each November, the Department of Revenue makes the following year's certificate available online. If you file paper returns, they will email it to you with your annual coupon book. Set a calendar reminder for early December, download your new certificate, and update it with every supplier and vendor that you work with. I cannot stress this enough. An expired resale certificate is useless. Vendors are legally required to reject it. And if a vendor accepts your expired certificate, they become liable for the unpaid sales tax. Nobody wants to be in that situation. Now, step 4 is about using your certificate the right way. When you make qualifying purchases, goods or services that you intend to resell, you present your DR13 to the vendor. You can give them a paper copy, an electronic copy, or just provide your certificate number. But here is the critical rule. You may only use your resale certificate for items you intend to resell or re-rent. You cannot use it to buy office furniture tax-free. You cannot use it for your business computer. You cannot use it for supplies that your business will consume. Those are all taxable purchases. And Florida takes this very seriously. Fraudulent use of resale certificate carries both criminal and civil penalties. The civil penalty alone can be up to 200% of the tax that should have been paid. It's not worth the risk. Now, on the vendor side, if someone hands you a resale certificate, you need to verify it. Florida gives you 3 methods. You can keep a copy of the customer's current annual resale certificate on file for 3 years. You can obtain a transaction authorization number for each individual sale by calling 877-357-3725 or using the Florida Tax Verify mobile app. Or you can get an annual vendor authorization number for your regular customers through the Department of Revenue's online verification system. Now, the safest method in 2026 is the Florida Tax Verify app. You enter the customer's 3-digit certificate number. The app gives you a transaction authorization number on the spot. And if you ever get audited, that authorization number is your proof. It protects you completely. A photocopy of someone's certificate does not give you the same level of protection, especially if it turns out to be expired or invalid. Now, let me walk you through the mistakes I see often. Mistake number one is confusing the sales tax permit with the resale certificate. Remember, the DR11 permits you to collect tax. The DR13 certificate lets you buy tax-free for resale. You need both, and they serve very different purposes. Mistake number two is forgetting to renew. Your resale certificate expires every December 31st. If you do not download the new one and update your vendors, they will start charging you sales tax on January 1st. I've seen business owners go months before they even notice. Now, getting a retroactive refund from a major platform or distributor is an absolute nightmare. Avoid it entirely by just staying on top of renewals. Now, mistake number three is using the certificate for personal or business purchases. Don't do it. The Department of Revenue audits for this, and the penalties are severe. Mistake number four is failing to file your sales tax returns. Even if you had 0 sales in a given period, you are still required to file. Now, once you're registered as a sales tax dealer in Florida, you must file returns on your assigned schedule monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. Missing a filing, even a $0 one, triggers late fees and penalties. Now, let me give you a quick recap of everything we've covered. First, you gather your business information, EIN, legal name, business address, and ownership details. Second, you file the DR1 Florida Business Tax application online at floridarevenue.com. Third, you receive your certificate of registration and your annual resale certificate once the application is approved. And fourth, you use your DR13 certificate properly, only for purchase intended for resale. And you verify certificates from buyers using the Florida Tax Verify app or one of the other approved methods. And fifth, you remember that your certificate renews every year. Stay on top of it. That's it. That's the entire process. It sounds like a lot, but once you've done it, it runs on autopilot. Now, the initial setup takes a little effort, but after that, it's just an annual renewal and constant compliance. Now, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every week covering Florida business formation, sales tax compliance, LLC setup, international business law, and everything in between. Whether you are starting a new business or scaling an existing one, this channel is built to help you do it the right way. Drop a comment below if you have any questions about the Florida sales certificate process. I read every single one. I'm Santiago Cueto, your Florida business attorney. Be sure to watch more of my videos right here.